I went in there with a legend today, man. We came up short. Obviously, I'm a winner at heart, man. So, I'm a little down, but, I know I won the world after this performance. I got dropped in the third round. I came back and, fought a hard fight. I fought a legend, man. So, a guy like me, right? The whole world was against me, right? And I was probably like 0 to 100, like 1 to 100, and on the odds, right? And just facing a legend, man, is something different. It's a blessing too to share the ring with him. But I'm excited. I finally got my feet wet at the highest level, or the pinnacle of boxing. And I feel like, I handled it well. We sold the fight great, and we fought a great fight. We gave the fans what they wanted to see. War. And, that's what Mexicans and Puerto Ricans do, when they go in the ring and share the ring together.
Canelo Alvarez emerged victorious in his much-anticipated showdown with Edgar Berlanga at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The fight had been billed as a potential passing of the torch moment for Berlanga, but Canelo's experience, skill, and sheer tactical brilliance proved too much for the young prospect. As the final bell rang, it was clear to the crowd and to boxing experts alike. Canelo had once again shown why he is one of the sport's all-time greats. For weeks leading up to the fight, speculation ran rampant about how Berlanga,
everybody is a level below Canelo Alvarez. You'll realise how much you learned in that ring tonight, and I think he's going to be in some massive fights.
with his knockout power and youthful energy, might fare against the seasoned champion. But as many seasoned analysts predicted, Canelo's blend of ring intelligence, defensive skills, and adaptability were on full display. Berlanga, despite his power, found himself outclassed over the course of the bout. Gennady Golovkin, who fought Canelo in two epic encounters, had a deep respect for the Mexican star's ability to evolve as a fighter. I've always said it, Canelo's not just about power. He's smart, he can adapt, and that's what makes him so dangerous, Golovkin said. Berlanga is strong, but Canelo's been in there with guys like that before. He knew how to handle it, and that's what happened tonight. Golovkin's words rang true during the fight. Berlanga came out aggressive, trying to impose his will on Canelo with his heavy hands. But the Mexican superstar remained calm under the pressure. Each time Berlanga would attempt to land his trademark power punches, Canelo would either slip out of range or counter with sharp, precise shots that took the wind out of the young contender's sails. As the rounds wore on, it became clear that Berlanga's power alone wasn't going to be enough to overcome Canelo's experience. Caleb Plant.
The kid's flashy, he looks the part, he really spoke well this week. You know, he's got Puerto Rico behind him, he's got New York behind him, he's always done big numbers. And I think fresh off that defeat, you know, I think he's gonna be a major.
Who had previously shared the ring with Canelo in a grueling contest, also offered his thoughts on the fight. Plant had been in a similar position to Berlanga, entering the fight against Canelo with confidence in his own abilities, only to realize how difficult it is to solve the puzzle that is Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's not just fighting you physically, he's fighting you mentally too, Plant explained. You could see it tonight. Berlanga started strong, but once Canelo began making him miss and countering, it became a mental game, and that's where Canelo really shines. Plant's observation highlighted one of the key dynamics of the fight. Berlanga, while powerful, appeared frustrated as the bout progressed. He struggled to find clean openings as Canelo's head movement and footwork allowed him to avoid much of the damage. Canelo, in turn, began targeting Berlanga's body, a strategy that has become a signature of his fighting style. Those body shots, as always, began to wear down Berlanga.
No, I'm not surprised. I think he don't fight like he used to fight. He defend himself a little more. That's why it happened what happened. But you know, I did what I supposed to do. You know, being there and fight and do my best and win the fight.
Slowing his pace and sapping his energy. Jermall Charlo, another top contender who has long sought a fight with Canelo, had predicted that Berlanga's lack of elite-level experience would be his undoing. After the fight, Charlo's comments echoed the sentiments of many in the boxing world. Berlanga's got power, but power doesn't mean anything if you can't land it, Charlo said. Canelo's been in there with punchers before, guys who thought they could bully him. But you can't bully Canelo. He's too smart, too slick. Berlanga found that out tonight. Indeed, Canelo's ring IQ was on full display as he systematically broke Berlanga down. While Berlanga had moments of success, particularly early on, Canelo's ability to adjust and dictate the pace of the fight ultimately left the younger fighter with few answers. By the middle rounds, it was clear that Canelo had taken control, and from that point forward,
hey man, Matter Daddy and Personal Canelo is my top two right now. They're hitting.
Big boy, any thoughts at all on the Super Bowl halftime? Any thoughts at all on all this controversy over Kendrick's selection at the Super Bowl show?
I talked about it on my show.
Can you share with our Fight Hype public? They would love to hear from you.
Yeah, well, I talked about it on my show.
it was only a matter of time before his dominance became undeniable. David Lemieux, a veteran of the sport who has faced his own share of heavy hitters, also weighed in after the fight. Berlanga's got that raw power, but that's not enough at this level, Lemieux said. Canelo's seen it all. He knows how to take a guy like Berlanga, who's dangerous, and make him look ordinary. That's what he did tonight. He exposed Berlanga's lack of experience and showed everyone that there's a big gap between being a prospect and being an elite fighter. Lemieux's assessment was echoed by many who watched the fight. Berlanga, despite his knockout streak and rising star status, was simply not ready for the level of competition that Canelo represents. As the fight progressed,
It was good. I was actually impressed, and I think I just tweeted something out there. He has gained so much experience, just like they all do, just like Canelo did from the loss to Floyd.
it became increasingly clear that Berlanga was out of his depth against one of the most complete fighters in the sport. Billy Joe Saunders, who had his own encounter with Canelo in 2021, spoke about the strategic brilliance of the Mexican champion. Saunders had entered his fight with Canelo confident that his movement and defensive skills would give him the edge, but like many before him, he was ultimately outsmarted by Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight. Berlanga came in thinking he could hurt Canelo, but that's not how you beat him, Saunders said. Canelo's a chess player in there. He sets traps, he makes you think you're in control, and then he takes it away from you. That's what he did tonight. Saunders' words carried significant weight, as he too had fallen victim to Canelo's ability to lure opponents into making mistakes. In the 8th round of their fight, Canelo landed a devastating uppercut that fractured Saunders' orbital bone.
Yo, Turkey, tell the fans what we doing next.
We want financials.
Tell them we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
Forcing him to retire on his stool. Saunders knew firsthand how dangerous Canelo's ability to set traps could be, and he saw the same pattern play out against Berlanga. Another former Canelo opponent, Daniel Jacobs, praised the Mexican star's body attack, which was a crucial factor in the fight. Canelo's body shots are something else, Jacobs said. They take the fight out of you. Berlanga was tough, but once Canelo started landing those shots to the body, you could see the fight slowly slipping away from him. He just couldn't handle it. Jacobs, who went the distance with Canelo in 2019, understood the toll that Canelo's bodywork can take on an opponent. Berlanga, who had never been in a fight where he had to deal with such a sustained body attack, was visibly worn down as the rounds progressed. Canelo's precision and power to the body took away Berlanga's ability to mount any significant offense in the later rounds. Chris Eubank Jr. also offered his take on the fight, praising Canelo's ability to impose his will on Berlanga. Canelo's pressure is relentless, Eubank said. He doesn't just throw punches. He makes you feel like you're always in danger, even when he's not throwing. Berlanga found that out tonight. He couldn't get comfortable, and that's why he couldn't land the big shots he's known for. Eubank's comments spoke to the mental pressure that Canelo,
You're the champion. What do you want next?
Bueno, ahora mismo estoy abierto a pelear con ahora la división. Y creo que el día estaba final porque estaba aquí hoy. Estaba buscando oponente. También me gustaría una segunda oportunidad con el Canelo Alvarez. Pero bueno, estoy aquí abierto a pelear con cualquier posición. Sí, sinceramente me sentí bien poco. Me gustaría pelear con cualquiera de la división. Si soy campeón en la división, sigo siendo campeón.
applies to his opponents. Even when Berlanga tried to rally and find openings, Canelo's presence in the ring made it difficult for the younger fighter to execute his game plan. The constant threat of Canelo's counters and body shots kept Berlanga on the back foot for much of the fight. Jaime Munguia, another rising star in the middleweight division, also weighed in, expressing his belief that Berlanga had been rushed into the fight too soon. Berlanga's got potential, no doubt, Munguia said. But this fight was too much, too soon. He's still learning, and Canelo's a master in there. He'll come back stronger. But tonight was all about Canelo showing that he's still on a different level. Munguia's perspective highlighted the importance of timing in a young fighter's career. While Berlanga had made a name for himself with his knockout streak, fighting Canelo proved to be a bridge too far at this stage of his development. The loss, while humbling, will serve as a valuable learning experience for Berlanga as he continues to refine his skills. Finally, Sergey Kovalev, who faced Canelo in 2019, delivered a sobering assessment of Berlanga's chances. "Canelo's too strong, too durable," Kovalev said. Berlanga thought his power would be enough, but it wasn't. Canelo took everything he had and kept coming. That's what makes him so hard to beat. He's not just a great offensive fighter, he's tough as nails. And Berlanga wasn't ready for that. The fight was a stark reminder of the levels in boxing. Berlanga, while a promising young fighter, was simply not prepared for the challenge that Canelo Alvarez presented. As the dust settles,
Just got done watching the Jaime Munguia Canelo fight. Was a good fight. It didn't win exactly how I expected, but hats off to both fighters.
Canelo's victory solidifies his status as one of the greatest fighters of his generation, while Berlanga will return to the drawing board, undoubtedly with valuable lessons learned from his first taste of elite competition. Canelo's development as a smart tactical fighter has become his real strength. Berlanga has power, but power alone won't beat Canelo. He's faced many fighters who thought they could bully him with power. Canelo has learned from every fight. Our first fight, our second fight. He keeps evolving. Berlanga isn't on that level yet. Canelo's too smart now, Golovkin said. The veteran champion knows that power, while dangerous, is not the ultimate weapon against someone as skilled and experienced as Canelo. Canelo has faced punchers before, Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, even Golovkin himself, and has found ways to neutralize their strengths. Golovkin points out that Berlanga, despite his knockout power, hasn't faced an elite fighter capable of testing him in ways that go beyond brute force. Canelo's ability to adapt, change tactics mid-fight, and exploit his opponent's weaknesses is something Golovkin believes Berlanga isn't prepared for. Berlanga's knockout streak may have excited fans, but Golovkin sees it as a sign of inexperience rather than a ticket to victory against Canelo. Canelo is versatile. He can adjust to anything. When he fought me the second time, he fought differently than he did the first time, and I had to adjust. Berlanga won't be able to make those adjustments at the moment. That's why Canelo will win. In Golovkin's mind, Berlanga is simply not ready for the level of boxing that Canelo brings to the table. The young prospect may have power, but Canelo's ring IQ, defensive skills, and ability to break opponents down over time will prove too much for Berlanga. Fighting Canelo is a mental challenge as much as a physical one. Canelo's ability to read his opponents'
performance as well.
Berlanga, after he hit it, he went around. He was on the defensive a lot, but
make them second-guess their every move and capitalize on their mistakes is what sets him apart. Berlanga, in Plant's view, lacks the experience needed to survive that kind of psychological warfare. Berlanga is still a prospect with a lot to prove before he can even think about facing someone like Canelo, some of the sport's most dangerous fighters, and he knows the pitfalls of relying too heavily on knockout power. His own career has been a testament to the limits of power against technical brilliance. Lemieux faced Billy Joe Saunders in 2017, and the fight was a harsh reality check for him. Saunders, a master of movement and defensive boxing, completely neutralized Lemieux's power, making him look one-dimensional in the process. Who came to realize that brute force alone isn't enough at the highest levels of the sport? When he looks at Edgar Berlanga, he sees a younger version of himself, a fighter who is dangerously reliant on his knockout ability and who has yet to develop the technical skills needed to compete with someone like Canelo Alvarez. His words carry weight because he has lived through exactly what he believes Berlanga is about to experience. He knows that Canelo's combination of ring IQ, defense, and tactical brilliance will expose Berlanga's weaknesses. Just as Saunders exposed his. Power, in Lemieux's eyes, is only one piece of the puzzle, and it's not the piece that will win Berlanga a fight against someone as complete as Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders has a perspective that complements Lemieux's, though his emphasis is more on Canelo's strategic brilliance than Berlanga's reliance on power. Saunders entered his fight against Canelo in 2021, confident that his movement, defense, and ring smarts would give him the edge. Early in the fight, Saunders' confidence seemed justified. He used his slick movement and elusive style to frustrate Canelo. making it difficult for the Mexican superstar to land clean punches. That punch wasn't just a display of power, it was the result of Canelo setting up traps, luring Saunders into making a mistake and then capitalizing on it in devastating fashion. Berlanga hasn't fought anyone with half the ring IQ that Canelo has. People look at Canelo and think it's just about power, but they don't see how he sets traps, how he forces you into making mistakes. Berlanga's too raw for that. Canelo will toy with him before finishing him. Jacobs' assessment highlights another dimension of Canelo's game.
Nice. Nice, get ready.
Nice. That was good.
That often goes underappreciated. While many focus on his headhunting and knockout power, it's Canelo's body punches that truly set him apart. By breaking his opponents down over the course of the fight, Canelo takes away their ability to defend themselves, making the knockout almost inevitable. Berlanga, with his lack of experience at this level, won't have the tools to defend against such a sustained assault. Berlanga has the power to hurt Canelo. It's about whether he can withstand the psychological warfare that comes with facing a fighter who never stops pressuring you. Eubank's skepticism isn't unfounded. Even experienced fighters have struggled to handle Canelo's relentless pressure. His ability to make subtle defensive adjustments, slip punches, and counter with precision has left many top-tier opponents frustrated and fatigued. Berlanga, who is known for his knockout streak, may find himself in unfamiliar territory if he can't land those big shots cleanly. And as Eubank suggests, power means little if you're not connecting. This psychological aspect of the fight, where Canelo forces his opponents to question their own strategy and effectiveness, will be a major factor in whether Berlanga can survive, let alone thrive, against the Mexican superstar. For someone like Berlanga, who is still developing his skills and hasn't faced top-tier competition, jumping into a fight with Canelo could be disastrous. In boxing, rushing a fighter into a marquee matchup can have long-term consequences. A loss to Canelo at this stage of Berlanga's career could set him back years, both mentally and physically. Munguia understands this better than most, as he himself has taken a measured approach to his own career. He sees Berlanga's potential but believes that fighting Canelo now would be a mistake that could cost the young fighter dearly. Well, what do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.